Okay, let's do some targeting for the leather niche. And we're going to do a couple different things here because I think that we're going to, well, first we're going to go through the interest group strategy for sure. And we're going to look at all of the different options that we have. And you see on the screen is the PDF cheat sheet that kind of lists 14 potential ones. There may be more for the niche. But I think also we're going to find some other probably product-related interest groups that aren't necessarily going to be up here that are going to make sense for people who like leather. So we don't want to ignore those. They might not necessarily fall directly into our interest group strategy, but we'll go and add those as well. So the first thing that we want to do, for sure, is talk about which ones on the interest groups may work. And we don't know if they're going to, but ones that we want to investigate. So I'm always going to have a notepad document. I'm just going to go around the circle here, and I'm going to think, you know, for leather, is there potential for associations and groups? I think so. You know, I mean, I really have no idea, but I'm thinking there might be. Field of study, I don't think so. Brands, yes. I bet that there is. Equipment, maybe, right? I don't, you know, we'll have to see. But I could envision there. Are there different types of leather? That I don't know. Events, no. TV movies, no. Fan pages, don't know. Websites, we don't know. We'd guess, right? Job titles, perhaps. Celebrities, no. Stores, maybe, in terms of competition. Magazines, and broad always exists. Literally would just be the word leather. Then we're going to have to go in and do products afterwards, which would be something different, I think. So those are going to be the ones that we think exist. And how we're going to build them? Well, we're just going to go to a sample Facebook ad. It doesn't matter what I pick here. Just need to get to the next page. So I can get to my detailed targeting section. This is where I'm going to start getting great recommendations from Facebook. You're going to see that once we start adding in a couple of interests that are relevant here, Facebook's going to give us all of the right information. But we need to do a couple things first. Okay, first I want to uncheck this box. I want to take this off, so I'm dealing only with the interest that I'm putting in here. This basically will say I'll expand the interest size if Facebook thinks it's worthy, and we're not going to let them do that. We want to make sure that we have control here. So first things first. This is how I always start. Literally just going to go ahead and put in the word leather. Okay, this is broad, right? This is literally your broad interest group right now. It's just one word. There's nothing else in it. Excuse me. It's 20 million people in size. So this represents the overall size of the niche. So this is literally just the word leather, and it's 20 million in size. You don't intersect, you don't split it up. It is what it is. And of course, this is totally different than our other sizes because of the fact that, you know, this number is so big, but it's just because this is broad, right? The purpose of broad is to be super, super large. And we typically use this just to kind of see, you know, maybe broad is a better strategy for this niche. You don't know. But it's definitely something that we're going to test out. It'll be one of our interest groups, just like anything else. Now, what I really like to do right now is pay attention to what I see here and take a look at some of the suggestions off the bat right on the first term, right? And these are going to be some things that I think are very, very relevant to us in terms of product, right? So leather crafting is going to be something totally separate, and this is kind of more so like it's not really a job, it's not a job title, it's not an industry, but it's just something else. So we're going to have to put this over here, leather crafting, see where this might fall into, but we're going to use it somewhere. But now we see other things like handbags, fashion bags, you know, here's something artificial leather. So we do have types of leather, right? So basically, you see what I'm doing here. I'm just basically filling in all these things that I'm just seeing. Where here's leatherism, handmade products. Okay, we gotta check out and see what this is on Google because I'm not sure. So this looks like a store, or actually a competitor to you. Yeah. So I'll put this under store. Okay. And anything else over here? Get response. Okay, nothing else. So now what we need to do is, and also I'm going to do another search to see if there's anything about leather magazines. I don't see how that would be, but, and I don't mean a holder. I just mean literally a magazine about it. So no. Let's check in here as well right now. Okay. So we don't really have many things. So what I'm going to try to build here, and actually let's go over here and go around this circle. Like leather associations, not happening, right? How about leather associations on Google? United States Hide, Skin, and Leather Association. I don't think that's in there. No. I mean, that would be very obscure and probably very small. Leather Industries of America. Let's see about that. No. Okay, so really what this whole exercise is going to be about is we're going to have, we're going to have our leather fee, our leather broad. We're going to have leather interests. and then we're going to have products. Okay, so we'll see how it's set up here. And leather is our first one. We're going to start adding anything now that has to do with leather. We want to see literally what's on here. Okay, so this helps. So we are going to be able to have brands as well. Okay, so we'll come over here under brands. We'll go to Wilson's Leather, Tandy Leather, Saddleback, Leather Co., Napa Leather, etc. So let's actually go ahead and we'll just build this interest group right now. I'm going to add all of the brands of leather. Let's see what Filson is. Filson Outfitter. Okay. Leatherup.com. So, motorcycle jackets, biker apparel, leather clothing. So this is another store. So we'll add this here. So a lot of biker stuff here, right? See, a lot of biker things came up here. I'm actually going to remove this. So I think here's something else that we will now. That we want to do a biker interest group. Because clearly bikers will be one group of people that will buy leather, right? We just saw that in terms of the recommendations. I mean, they all came up, so that makes sense. So what I need to do is whittle this list down to only be other brands of leather. Do we have any other ones? No. Any suggestions here? Handmade leather. So leather jacket, right? That's obviously going to go under products. Okay, and in fact, that actually might even go under biker interest group. We'll take a look at that. But that looks like it's it for leather. So, leather brands, 230,000 people. No need to intersect because we're already inside of our sweet spot, right? We'd like to be somewhere around 500,000 to 750,000. Obviously, we're not going to get any bigger because there's no other interest here, so we're not going to intersect. So this would, in fact, be our second interest group so far in terms of actually finished ones. We have broad and we have brands. Okay, so leather crafting has not been used. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to just go into leather jacket. Okay, we're going to go to suggestions. See if there's any other leather things. There's that leather crafting again. Okay, great. So it doesn't look like there's really anything else on there for other products. Let's go and just do, how about leather wallet, just to see. No. Alright, so what we should do then is add products that are typically leather, right? Obviously, well, I think wallet would be a good one, right? Bags. Let's see. Best selling products, wool leather goods. Here we go. So let's see what their best products are. And we could add those products. This would be the products group. Okay, so belt. So, okay, we could do belt. We could do wallet. These are typical leather products. This is going to be our leather product interest group. I don't want to say backpack or bag, because that doesn't necessarily always be leather. But belts and wallets definitely going to be more consistently like that. Let's see. Duffel, backpack, messenger, tote, belts, wallets, wristwear. I think that's really all I feel very confident with in terms of being leather. So here we got obviously a huge size because these are very broad interests. So what we're going to do is intersect. I'm going to take the biggest one in size. This is 60 million. I'm going to remove it from the first box and add it down here into the next box, shrinking us from 10 million right into our sweet spot, right? We want to be between 500 and 750,000. We're right there at 630,000, smack dab in the middle. So this is our third interest group here. This is the, what is this? This is the products interest group. This is belt and leather jacket intersected with wallet. Okay, so that's great. Third interest group there. Okay, we have not still used, I think there was leather crafting we haven't used. That might have to be alone. So I don't know what else to put in with leather crafting, but we certainly don't want to leave it out. So I think leather crafting is just going to be, it's just the leather craft. It's actually a great size. We'll call this the leather crafting interest group, and it's just the leather crafting interest. So we never want to eliminate a choice, right? Just there's 680,000 people here that like leather crafting. We don't know exactly where it fits in, so we're going to just force it into its own interest group because we want to make sure that we're testing this. And it happens to be a great size as well, so it definitely works well. Now, really, everything else here is not relevant. Right? There's nothing else leather-wise. So, and really, any niche needs to have at least 4 to 5 interest groups to make it work. So I'm lucky. I'm happy that we got 4, right? Because this one is 20 million. This was 200,000. This one was 600,000. This was 680. So you have good sizes there for all 4. But now let's find things that are going to be more, I guess, tangentially relevant. And these would not be your primary groups, but you would definitely test it out. And I think it would be awesome if we could figure out, if bikers is really the best sub niche to the overall group. So I don't think that obviously you need to have shirts and things specifically for bikers, but you can make the assumption that bikers do like leather goods, obviously, right? So what we could do here is we don't need to add all of these here, but we want to basically add things that are going to be similar to leatherup.com. So we could try Chopper Exchange, Women Motorcycles, basically other websites. Okay, so we'll call this the website interest group for, let's see if we have any other .coms. Let's call this the .com interest group for bikers. Now, obviously with bikers, it could be its own niche. So, what do you do here? Well, first of all, we have a really good representation here because we have leather up, and that's kind of that crossover where it's somewhat leather, somewhat bikers. We also have ones that are similar to leather up in terms of .coms. Now, let's say you have great success here, which would be awesome, right? 730,000 people in size, so it's perfect in terms of size. If this works, what do? Next, you try a bike magazine interest group, a bike website, or this is a bike website, a bike association, bike brands like Harley, right? You try everything related to bikers, but not all in yet, because we don't know if this is a good representation. We think it is. Facebook is hinting that it is because of that leatherup.com and the recommendations, but we don't know for a fact. So this is giving you 5 great interest groups, all within good size, right? As big as 20 million, as small as 230,000, 3 of them right in between 600,000 and 700,000. So, a really good selection of interest groups for you to test with. What I would do is start launching 5 products a week, 1 product per interest group, and see specifically how the bikers do, because there's a massive upside there because there's so many other interests and interest groups around biking. But start with these 5, right? Launch the store. I think it looks pretty good. Definitely ready to go. In terms of trust-wise, I would say. So we got to get products in there. Start focusing on this targeting. Do some testing. $5 a day for 5 days. Rewatch the live targeting intensive that you purchased. You could rewatch that to make sure that you're implementing the strategy correct. And go with these 5 interest groups. I don't think that there's really any other ones that jump out at me in terms of being definite tests like bikers. And the reason is one, I'm not an expert at this niche, but I am an expert at seeing and believing what Facebook tells me. And Facebook did not offer anything close to any other recommendations to any other niches. So we're going to go with the leather. We're going to go with the broad brands, products, leather crafting, and we're going to do the bikers.com. Yeah, I think that's solid. Not thinking about really adding anything else here. So there you go, 5 interest groups for the leather niche. I really hope this helps you. Rewatch this video a couple times, recreate these audiences, and I hope this helps you make a lot of money.